celebrating 17 years of possibility. Pilot Flying J and Halloran Hilton Hill present Anything is Possible. Today's guest, Yassin Terou, Part 2.
Welcome to Anything is Possible. I'm Halloran Hilton Hill, and it has been my joy for a long time to tell you great stories about great people whose lives prove that anything is possible. You know, people ask me, do you get tired doing this? Do you run out of stories? No. In fact, I get inspired. That's part of the luxury, if you will, of doing this work, is that I'm inspired by these great stories of possibility. And Yassin's story is definitely a model story of possibility. Now, I want you to notice something in the interview. He is so full of joy and life and laughter. When you go into his restaurants, Yassin's Falafel house, you're going to find joy and light and laughter. But his life did not start out that way. In fact, he had to flee war-torn Syria and come to a new country and start a new life with nothing but a dream, a belief that something was possible here. And boy, was it possible. In fact, you're going to get to watch that dream come true in two ways. Part 2 of my interview with him, and then the company Square, they do the digital registers. They did a documentary about his life, his work, his restaurant, and his dreams, and you get to see that as well. Yassin is my guest this week. This is Part 2. Yassin, the owner of Yassin's Falafel House. Enjoy this story of possibility on Anything is Possible.
Possibility powered by Pilot Flying J, Covenant Health, Home Federal, and the Knoxville News Sentinel. Coming up.
Our Syrian people in general, immigrants, when we come, we want to have a life. We want to have a work. We don't want to stay home and get like help.
He's so well known for his food that people believe it's your last name.
Yes.
Yassin Falafel.
Yassin Falafel. Yes.
Welcome to Anything is Possible.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
You sure do smile and laugh a lot. Why?
Because life is beautiful. Life deserves a smile and laugh, because we have enough problem to think about it and be sad, but it's better to have a solution with love and smile.
You know, that's really tremendous coming from you, knowing a little bit of your story. Take me back to Syria and take me back to Syria and then ending up here.
So I born and raised in Syria. And I started traveling when I was 25 years old. I went to Spain, come back to Syria. Unfortunately, what's happening in Syria, everybody know.
What happened?
The revolution. People start asking for change. And after that, unfortunately, this revolution started to be a civil war. And after that, now is a world war. It's like everybody involved. That paradise, the Syrian paradise, turned to a very bad place now. People without houses, people were in the street, people hungry. 500,000 people been killed or arrested. So, unfortunately, the paradise got destroyed.
So, prior to that, you loved growing up in Syria.
Sure. Syria was one of the best places to be. A lot of love between different people. We don't care what you believe. We always like us, one family, Christian, Muslim, whatever you believe, what wasn't matter before. Now, unfortunately, people fighting against what they believe, what they've been growing with.
So you had to leave.
We had to leave and never come back for now almost 10 years.
So do you remember when you left?
It was last visit was in 2011. 2011 when it started the things there in Syria.
So you leave the country that you were born and raised in.
Yes, sir.
And the paradise is gone.
The paradise is gone. Leaving the family there. My father is still there. My sisters are still there.
How are they?
They doing good. Is like, I don't know how we can consider good, because all what happened is around them, like 10 minutes from our house, what's happening in Yarmouk camp, or what's happening in Ghouta, or what's happening in around Damascus. It's like they can see everything in their eyes. So if this is considered good, they doing it.
So did you come straight to Knoxville?
I come straight to Knoxville.
How did you end up, of all the places in the country to be, how'd you end up in Knoxville?
I consider myself as a very lucky person to be in Knoxville. So we was looking in an area to not be very expensive, because we come here with a $10,000 loan. We had to loan our ticket. We had to loan money to buy our ticket, to loan money to get the first month's rent to start. So we take a loan from someone to come here. So we was considering somewhere not very expensive, some places welcoming, and not very cold. So it's like Knoxville was the best choice for us to be here.
I understand that you show up, first of all, you're struggling with the language. You don't have any employment.
I'm still doing. I'm still struggling.
You don't have any place to live. You don't have work, and you end up going to the local mosque here, and you're there.
Yes, sir.
Tell me about the first time you walked into the Knoxville Mosque.
So the Knoxville Mosque is a whole story by themselves. It's like I start looking for a mosque since I come here, and take me 2 months to find it. When I start here, I come in and I lived in the Fort Sanders area because it was a little bit cheap to find a studio there, and the mosque just was in the end of the street where I were living. But in Syria, we don't have a GPS. So it's like, take me 2 months to find where is the mosque, what is 3 minutes walking from my house. So it's like, okay, now we found the mosque. I want to start looking for a job because, as you say, I don't know the language. And when I was coming here, the first things I was going to Walmart with a big luggage to buy everything in one time, so I don't have to pay for the bus 2 times to go in the month to Walmart because I don't have enough money to go.
Wow.
2 times in Walmart in the bus, not in the car. It was a dream to have a car. Just forgot about it. So one time when I was in Walmart, one of the girls, she was doing research about like homelesses and stuff like this. And I am coming with a big luggage. I'm proud of it. And she's come to me and like ask me if I'm a homeless. And I'm very straightwise like, yes. And I wasn't. She's like, are you homeless? And she started like asking me question. And I start, okay, yes. And the person who was with me is like, no, don't say yes. You're not a homeless. You don't know what I'm saying. I was like, since first, I learned yes, not always the answer. So after that, going to the mosque, start looking for a job because I'm a person. Our Syrian people in general, immigrants, when we come, we want to have a life. We want to have a work. We don't want to stay home and get like help. I'm one of them, of many who we believe in that. So
why don't we take a break right here, because as we launch into this part of your story, this becomes really amazing. Wait until you hear the rest of his story. This is Yassin, and his last name is his restaurant, Falafel. More in a moment.
Coming up.
The first time I came to Knoxville, I still remember that day. Driving around from the highway, I was like, big cars. I was scared of almost everything.
So they made a film. You love the square cash register. Talk to me about how you got in contact with them, or they got in contact with you, and it was like one of their best films ever.
Actually, I love this. We call it technology tools, or falafel technology. I feel like personal relationship with Square because they've been a great help and a great supporter since we start. So how we start the film, they decide to do a film and someone they know, and I don't know even about it. So it's like I have a call from Square, and they says like, okay, Jack Dorsey is a Square COO want to do like some films in their sellers. I'm one of them. It's like at the time when it's like, to be honest with you, was all the big name of Jack Dorsey. When they told me, it's like, who's Jack Dorsey? After they closed down, it's like, okay, let's Google, let's Google who's Jack Dorsey. It's like, and I Google Jack Dorsey and does all the great things about Jack and all what he do in this world. It's like, wow, this guy interested in doing something. So they decide to do a film, and they come here and do like a 3 days of filming with the whole team from California. They bring people from Knoxville, and they bring people from all the world to show us, to show the people my story, to show the people how immigrant do, how I was like, what's their focus, and to show the story like what you do, put the spotlight in a great story to make this world better.
Look at your life. I mean, can you believe this? You come to America, you got nothing but hope. And I think one of the things that really stands out to me over and over again is you keep using the word love, 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 love. Love the people, love the food, love your community, love your family, love, love, love. Why do you use the word love so much?
Because love will win. Even if sometimes we see all what happened around us, love will win. My whole message is like to build bridges between people. There is people that just doesn't like other people because they doesn't know them. So it's like if you build that bridge, if you build that love, if one of the most important things about food and love, I always say break bread, break hate. So it's like breaking bread will break the hate. I think this is the most important things. And this is what it's like coming from nothing to the nicest place in America in 2018. That will show you everything is possible. If you focus, if you give love and be honest and give him back.
All right, so why don't we do this? Let's take a look at this film from Square.
Awesome, thank you. This last year has been hard on me and my family. Sometimes I don't sleep. When you see all what's going on in the media, it will make you afraid. It's like, what will happen to us? Even like make me scared about my business. It's like, are we still welcome here? But when my baby was born, I remember looking at her. She's born here. She's an American. So that moment, I decided to be strong. In 2011, when things got worse in Syria, and I just have to leave, like maybe the thing will get better and we'll go back, but it's never happened. The first time I came to Knoxville, I still remember that day. Driving around from the highway, I was like, big cars. I was scared of almost everything. A lot of my Arabic friends, they scared to come here. Like, oh, they hate Muslims. You will not have a good life in America. You come to a country and you don't have nothing. Nothing, zero. You can't make money because I wasn't allowed to work. I don't speak English. You don't know nobody. Refugee life is very hard. Where you start? Like you start with people, maybe they speak the same language. So I went to the mosque. It was like about 4 minutes walking, and that took me like 2 months to know where it's at. Because I don't know. GPS. I never worked with the GPS in Syria. I asked him for work, and they told me like, unfortunately, they can't offer a lot of jobs, but we can offer you food, monthly help. And that was hard for me. It's like, I can't do it. Can you let me just sell sandwiches here? My small dream was to sell falafel and juices like we have it in Syria. This is my food, and I want to give it with my love, with my style. And they let me do it. So I wasn't making much money, but I was happy doing something.
I'm shy.
Met Yassin here at the mosque, and this guy for a year, 2 years, just consistently would come and sell these sandwiches. A lot of people would line up after the prayers got out. So I tried out his sandwich, and it was really some of the best I've ever had. So I asked him, I was like, why don't you just open up a store?
Because I don't have money. This is the only reason I'm not doing this. My credit was, even if I pay everything, the best credit line I was given, $300.
So we decided to team up, and we found an empty spot in a building downtown and opened up Yassin's Falafel House.
The feeling of having like a restaurant, real restaurant. So when I see it now, I still like doesn't believe. It's not an easy job. Sometimes you have a very hard day, 12-hour shift, catering in the morning. You'll get tired. But having a business will give you the chance to present yourself. It's not only work. It's a message. My customer, they are my friend. Different face, different colors, different race. Because this is what Yassin Falafel House about. It's about community. Whatever happened outside of this store, just forget about it and come in. You are safe here. We hire a refugee who's just like me, who come here with nothing. People who want to work and want to be happy. The situation in Syria destroyed our family. My brother is in another country. I'm here. My father with the sisters. It's not easy. It's like what will happen to them? Their future is hard for me.
A lot of people that you know and you don't know have contributed to what makes you. And for that, we ought to be grateful. Everybody is great at a time of ease. Everybody wants to show the best of them at a time of prosperity. But it's at the time of adversity, at the times when things are not going your way, is when we really realize what that gratitude of yours, what that gratitude of mine is made of.
I'm very grateful to be here. I'm very grateful for my family. And we are strong together. I just think back about where I was and what if I still in Syria. Not many people know my last name. A lot of people just like Yassin Falafel. And I'm not mad about it. If they remember me of the good food and good taste, I'm really happy with it. Like, it's okay. One of my dreams is not having one store only. One of my dreams to get our message everywhere. Even the people who decide, oh, they doesn't like Muslim, they doesn't like refugee, they doesn't like immigrant, we have to change their ideas about it. And this is our job, and this is our message. If you believe in something, you don't have to leave it and just go. Say no. We're going to keep the American dream going because this country for everybody.
So, for a young person, maybe an immigrant to this country, maybe somebody who's starting with nothing, if Yassin was writing his recipe for success, somebody starting where you started or maybe even further down, what's the Yassin recipe for success?
Love and open-minded. Know people. Love this community. Don't come and be just in a box inside your house or inside your room. Get engaged, get learning these people and make them learn about you. Don't be shy. It's okay if you don't speak the language. It's okay if you don't have enough money. You will have it. Focus in the big things. Like one of the things I think is make us different. We're not focusing on the money, even if we are like we have a very successful business as a business and our business is bringing money. We fix it in the community. We fix in our building ourselves and building our community. I think this is one of the special recipe. And don't be shy and scared of what's coming next. Just do hour by hour, or day by day, but do the right work, and everything is possible.
Well, I think you are a model of possibility. And thank you for being here on Anything is Possible.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
We'll see you next time.